Hello everybody, it's Monica Heltz with your weekly Community Risk Rating Scale Metric Review. Today is January 5th, 2021. Welcome to the new year. This is our first metric review from the new year. Unfortunately, things are not yet better, although we have hope for the future. Our community transmission metric is our primary metric that we use to determine our rating scale. We remain in red, very firmly in red, as we have been for some time, I'll go through those metrics quickly. Our percent positivity rate is 22.8%. Our Fishers Health Department percent positivity is 16.9%. Both of those are quite high. Our case incidence rate has gone down a little bit this week. It's at 85.46. That again is on a 14-day rolling average. I would expect that to bounce up a little bit as we move forward. We did see our highest number of cases reported yet just the other day. And you can see that reflected on our graph on our website. I will also mention our all-test positivity rate, which is the rate that the state uses to calculate the county metrics. That has gone over 15%, so I would expect the county to flip into the red category for the state's metrics, which carries additional restrictions from the governor's office. So keep that in mind if you have any events planned or anything like that, even if they're out of Fishers, because you will be affected if your event size is over 25. Our testing availability on our public health metrics remains good. Our testing availability, you should still be able to get into an appointment the same day or the next day for testing if you so desire. We are getting towards capacity on a daily basis, but we are not booked out any days ahead. Our testing turnaround time is at 2.7 days average, so still seeing most of the results return in 1 to 3 days. We do have a few outliers occasionally, but we have continued with some pretty good testing turnaround times, regardless of the site that you register through. Our tracing capabilities have improved a little bit. We remain in green and being able to notify everyone within 24 hours if you were tested at our site. The state's process has improved a little bit, and we have also worked very hard to catch up the state's process. So I will put that one in yellow. We're also managing more than one attempt to notify people. Please do call us back, or just call us directly if you need help with tracing. We would encourage you to notify any of your contacts that you know of, but let us help you as well so that we can get ahead of this thing. Our healthcare capacity, I'm going to keep that in orange, no changes there. Our ICU bed capacity is at 20.9% for the district, which is pretty much where it has been for some time, but we do continue to see the non-COVID cases in the ICU decrease and the COVID cases increase as a percentage of the cases in the ICU, so this is a troubling sign. And could be more due to the shifting of allocation of beds in the hospital, which is allowing the ICU bed capacity in the hospitals not to overflow because they've kind of weeded out some of the cases that may have contributed in a normal scenario, such as surgeries that could be delayed and that kind of thing. In other news, we tested 2,390 people this past week, so we continue to test at a high rate, and that was actually without 1 day of testing that we normally do. We saw 626 people come through our site yesterday with the 2 different links. So we have high capacity and capability for mass testing. We will continue to keep that up. Just know that we are trying to serve you as best as we can to make sure that that is available. We can't get ahead of this thing if you don't know that you have COVID. We have seen a slight increase in positive cases this week over last week. Again, I mentioned the all-test positivity rate. The county will be in red. We have lost 3 additional residents to COVID this past week, to confirmed COVID. And again, I differentiate confirmed COVID versus we have a number of cases as well that are not confirmed. So that means that we've lost a total of 58 of our residents so far this year to this disease. And that is, again, what we are trying to prevent. We continue to see increases across the board. December had more cases than November, roughly 2,800 cases in December. So that's an increase over November, which was a dramatic increase over October. We continue to expect that we will have an increase in January and February and March. We do have good news on the horizon. The vaccine is coming. We expect to get our first shipment this week. We're very excited about that. So we do hope to start putting those needles in arms as early as next week. And for those people who qualify for the vaccine according to the state's criteria, we will then show up as an additional option for where you can schedule your vaccine. For those of you who are very anxiously awaiting to find out when you will be next in line, I do not have the answer, unfortunately. That criteria is set by each state, so it is different from state to state. If you have folks out of state who are saying they're getting vaccinated, we are waiting that criteria from the state right now. It is all healthcare providers and first responders, so police and fire, EMTs, and then hospital staff and other people who could potentially be exposed to COVID positive individuals in their daily duties on in close contact. So I do not yet know, again, who the next people are, whether it's going to be teachers or whether it's going to be elderly. I do not know. They have started vaccinating long-term care facilities. So to try to better coordinate for us our communication to whoever the state decides is the next group that we may potentially need to participate in notifying, we have created a vaccine interest survey. So I would encourage you to go onto our website, onto the vaccination page, and complete that survey if you are so inclined and would like to make sure that we notify you actively based on the criteria that we're aware of when the state sets them. When you could potentially be able to get the vaccine. We also have a question in there about if you're homebound, if you're going to need us to come to you, or if you would like to be considered for standby call if we have extra doses to use at the end of the night. So just keep that in mind. That's just a communication tool. It doesn't guarantee a place in line, but we hope to use that as an additional tool to be able to keep everyone informed as we know information. So that option is now available to you. I would encourage you to complete it. Other than that, keep washing your hands, maintaining distancing, wearing that mask, and stay safe, everybody. We've got another couple of months to get through this, provided that everybody does take the vaccine when it's their turn. So keep it up, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.